All right, guys, I'm here in front of one of our multifamily buildings right behind me. It's one of our favorite buildings. As you can see, there's 6 commercial units down below, 17 residential up top. So the mixed use model, again, is very, very good. This building has a ton of potential. So we bought it because of its potential and how we can force up its value and really start to leverage that capital back out of the building. One, to reduce our capital and increase our ROI as a result. And 2, then we can repurpose that capital, give it back to investors, do more investing with it. And so what I want to talk about today is some of the similarities and some of the differences between the residential and the multifamily models that we do. So the similarities first, we do the exact same concept in residential and in commercial. What we do is we look for buildings where we can force up the value in a very short period of time, typically through renovation, but not always. Refinance that capital, so after the value is forced up, refinance, pull that capital out, return it back to ourselves, our investors, back into our pocket, again, reducing our capital, maximizing our ROI, and then allowing us to go do more investing. So that's the similarity across both residential and the multifamily on the commercial side. The difference is, though, and this is where the key is that when we do this in residential, we're buying a single family home typically, and this is how we train investors as well. We train them on how to put in a secondary suite, right? What to look for, and we force up that value with that secondary suite. Then we refinance, and then we, again, return that capital, increase our ROI, and go invest some more. And it's all through residential mortgage products, which makes it nice and fairly clean and fairly simple. And the renovations, same thing, fairly predictable, fairly repeatable, and that's all the security and the kind of upside that you see in that residential model. In commercial, though, it's a little different. What we're looking for there is buildings where the rent is below market value, right? That's a very important consideration, but not our primary. Our primary is actually this next one, which is looking for ways we can force up that value by turning a big single bedroom apartment into maybe a 2-bedroom apartment, or sometimes we'll split that into 2 bachelors. Depends on what the market and the rental demographic is after, but it's the same concept, right? We're going to take a 1-bedroom, turn it into a 2-bedroom, a 1-bedroom into 2 bachelors, or a 2-bedroom into 3 bedrooms. And so that's one of the primary ways, and then we force up that value. Ultimately, and this is one of the key differences as well, what we're looking to do on these multifamily and commercial grade products is we're looking to increase the NOI, the net operating income. And the reason is that the value of the building in commercial lending is based on that NOI, that profit, right? So that we know in business, any business, there's 2 ways to increase your profit. You can either cut costs in a sustainable way, because if it's not sustainable, then it's short-term win, long-term loss, and we're not up for that. Or you increase your top line revenue. So what we're talking about with below market rents and changing these apartments into a style of apartment that's either going to rent for more or has better demand in the market is increasing that top line revenue. That's our primary, not our only focus, but one of our primary ones. And the key here is that when you increase that profit and that NOI, yes, that's related directly to the cap rate and that affects the market value, but it's not a one-to-one relationship, meaning the reality in multifamily is that it's not just a one-to-one between that NOI and the value of the building. In reality, what it is a blend of NOI and cap rates and comparables. So in residential, it's purely comparables. In the multifamily and the commercial, it's a blend of the two. And that's what you really need to know. So you need to know the NOI and how you're going to force up that value. You need to know the cap rates in the area and what is actually going to be used by the lenders. Not just in the marketplace with other investors, but the lenders themselves. And then you need to know that it's a blend between that cap rate, the NOI, and also the comparables. If it were just NOI and cap rates, man, we would be forcing up these values very, very aggressively. We're still able to do that, but it's tied back into the comparables. So a little bit of insight in terms of how we force up that value, the similarities, and then a couple of the differences. And there's a lot to be said about how we do that financing and when and how you refinance. There's a lot of detail to be dug into there in terms of the nuance and the things to watch out for and the things to leverage as heavily as you can. But for now, that's it. We wanted to cover that piece of information today, and I hope that helps.